Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Raine Plays. Today we're at Sandy Run in Newcrest. I cannot remember their names. I'm sorry. They were really weird. I believe their last name is Aragon. His name is Laurant. I can't remember her name. Anyway, they're a young married couple. And they live here at the end of where Donna Clark lives. They're on the other end. When I normally play in Newcrest, I build homes on these two ends, and then in the center is where I put the museum, a library, and a little park, so I can put a pond in there. They have nowhere to fish, so I give them a little park with one of those ponds that are in that debug objects cheat. I don't really call them cheats because EA lets you do it. So it's not technically I guess it is technically a cheat, but I don't want to look at it that way if EA says it's okay to do it. Anyway, much better build, much better outcome. Only issue with this one was I gave them that. They have a funky spelling for it. I think it's Luvre. It's the heart lot trait where romance is supposed to be a big thing. Good heavens, it never shuts off. And these guys are married, so it's not that big of an issue, but my goodness, they're constantly flirty. They're constantly having sex. It's a little much, even for a young married couple, I guess. Maybe it's just too much for me. I don't know. I was talking earlier about things that I give my Sims when I'm playing them. And I always forget to mention that my biggest one, the one I insist they have, is is it a trait? You go into the reward store, and if they have enough points, you can buy things for them. And I believe the anti-tense trait, it's called Carefree. I believe it's only 500 points or something like that, so it's easy to obtain. But when I was early in the game, and my Sims always came home from work tense, and they had this really upset look on their face, and they'd stomp around and slam the refrigerator door, and it upset me personally. I just couldn't take it. Of course, I had to live with someone like that, so that's probably why I don't like it. But that's beside the point. It was upsetting to see, and it changed my mood when they did that. So I always give them the carefree trait, and then they don't come home from work. They come home from work gray and fine. But at least they're not all charged up and steam coming out of their ears and stomping around the house. That got old real quick. And it's one of those things I don't understand about the game. You say they have to work to make a living, obviously. And yet every single day, even giving them a job that they enjoy, that coincides with their personality traits, they're still going to come home from work every single day, fit to be tied? Why? Lots of things I just don't understand. I played these guys. This was glitchy. The build itself was fine. The walkthrough, not so much. But playing them was kind of glitchy. They were a little behind the timer. Like you'd ask them to eat and they'd just stand there stiff. And then all of a sudden they'd get up and go do what you ask them to do. It wasn't it wasn't horrible, this roof. I was looking next door and I'm like, I've done this before. But I'm like, how do you get the top on there? I can never. Gave it another set of walls, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go up one more time. See, the thing I have with that is, yeah, see, I had to go up again. I don't think they let you do this when I first got the game. I think you could only go up 2 high and then you had to build a roof. But now apparently you can go, I believe the highest you can go is 3. So you can have 3 floors on a house and then you have to have a roof. It's not that big of a deal. I eventually figured it out. She has the social media career and he's a tech guru. And the first thing they asked her to do was go to the spice market and make 3 friends. But when I did that, first of all, when I clicked on the world, San Myshuno to go there, and when I tried to select the spice market, it wouldn't let me. I had to go to the bar that was there, and it's not even really a bar, it's a karaoke club. So I wasn't able to do what they asked her to do, but I thought that the spice market and the art quarter and that third one, I can't remember, there's a business district where the expensive apartments were. I thought that Yasim could go there regardless of there being a festival or not, that you could just go there and do things. Apparently not. Unless, like I said, the game was pretty glitchy. It could have been another glitch. I don't know. But I sent her there with Donna. They sang karaoke. She bought some stuff at a stand. Got a bunch of fruit and vegetables. But no matter who she talked to, and none of it counted toward her career. So I was confused about that, because like I said, I could have swore I thought that you could go to those places, because the art quarter has the art gallery. Well, yeah, the spice market has the karaoke and the art gallery has the art quarter has the gallery. Maybe that's all you can do unless there's a fair going. But that's kind of odd, because that was her job. That was one of her, in order to advance, she had to meet 3 people at the spice market. It didn't say a fair or a party or anything. It just said go to the spice market and make 3 friends. And it wouldn't let me do it. Hopefully that was a glitch. I'm not sure. The other thing, as far as gardening goes, I'm all over the place today, and I apologize for that, but I wrote down a bunch of things that I keep forgetting to say. The first time I used Patchy, I was a little disappointed and then stunned, because first of all, I know I set him up in a bad spot, but I had him, because I usually put my garden along the side of the house, so it's easier for them to get to. I set him up there, and the crows kept flying through the house. Every couple seconds there was a black crow flying straight through the house, because they land on him for whatever reason. But when I got friendly with him, because it told you to get friendly with Patchy, so I did. And the first time he got up off his haystack and went into my house and got on my computer, that was creepy. It was just too creepy for me, so I never used him again. But then recently I watched a video, and somebody was showing how to do gardening tips and things like that. Patchy also woohoos. And that is even more creepy. I'm sorry, I'm just not into that freakish, oddball, what are you thinking kind of gameplay. I just, no. Stop it. Just stop. That's how I feel about the whole thing, so that turned me even more about Patchy. And it doesn't matter. He's supposed to fertilize your garden and water it for you and all. He never did that for me. All he did was wake up, go into my house, get on my computer, try to chat, eat some food, and then he'd go sit back on his haystack and go back to being a scarecrow. He never helped with my garden. So I don't know what the big deal about him is. And he's just creepy looking. He's just a stick with a hat. No. And I like pumpkins and I love scarecrows, but that one... Oh, his name is Laurant Aragon and her name is Reese Aragon. I did write that. I also started thinking, there's this guy that walks around here. I think he was in the last video. He has a hipster ponytail hairstyle, but it's gray. Why can't we have a salt and pepper? I know that there are two options. There's like a brown one and a black one. But it's not salt and pepper. It's like black with some ugly grayish brown in it, or it's brown with this ugly greenish gray in it. But that's not salt and pepper. I'd love to have salt and pepper hair to make some of my fellas look more distinguished when they become adults and older adults. I also made a mistake when I said that the clown knitting thing didn't make it. That is true. And I said that Grimm made it, but I said a puppy, and that's not true. It was an octopus, a penguin, and a turtle. Now, the turtle's cute. I don't mind the turtle. I don't know why the puppy didn't make it. I wish my clown had. Oh, I put everything in the fridge. I did it. I don't know what the big deal is. I don't know what difference it's going to make. Because like I said, none of my produce has ever gone bad in inventory. Ever. Fish? Yes. Food? Yes. Produce? No. Never. It's just never happened. So, but I got it all in there. Apparently there was a glitch on that a while back. And people weren't able to do it anymore. I was afraid that it was one of those university things, because the university students have one of those little mini refrigerators, and I thought it was for that. I'm able to put everything in my refrigerator, so I did. Now we're coming up on the after pictures here. And then I have some exciting news for you about Laurent. He went to the Geek Con, and I entered him in the hacking contest. I figure what? He's a tech guru, but this is a first. He won. First place. He got an immersive bend computer, which he probably already owns. But he won first prize. I don't win first prizes, and none of my Sims has ever won a first prize. You know how they have the lottery? Keep hoping my Sim's going to win that $100 at WAP. No, it's $100 to enter. I have no idea. What is the grand prize in the lotto? I don't think I ever noticed before. But somebody, a townie, always wins that when I play. But Laurent came through for me. And he only got 77 out of 100 on that hacking thing. He also went into space. That was odd. He's not a rocket scientist. I just gave him the tech guru career. Now they have the entrepreneur. Is it entrepreneur? Or is it connections? I think it's connections. If you buy the connection trait using your points, which again I believe is another 500 or maybe 1,000 points, they advance in their career when you start them 3 or 4 instead of starting at the bottom. So he started at 4, but that didn't mean he was a rocket scientist. I sent him into space at the GeekCon. He did a mission, and by the time he came back, he was up to 3. Level 3 in rocket science. And all he did was, he just went up in a rocket at the GeekCon. And he ended up coming back with level 3 rocket scientist. I don't know how he did it. You go, Laurent. I mentioned earlier in another video about it was when I was making Oscar, because he's the scientist. And I was mentioning how I'm creeped out about guys getting pregnant by aliens. It doesn't sit well with me. I found out, what was I watching? James Turner's video. His guy got pregnant with an alien. And when the baby arrived, you had the option to send it back to its home world. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, that makes things a little bit different now. I don't know how I'd feel about raising an alien. These are things I have to learn how to get over. So there's plenty of future video ideas here. But I do not mind the idea of being a breeder, as odd as that sounds. If aliens can't have their own babies and they have to come down here and do it that way, well, that's doing a service. That's kind of a nice thing. So guy or girl, I would not mind doing that. Having the infant and then sending it back to its home world. So it could be with its own kind and not have to hide when it goes to school and all that. I just think it's sad. I also think it's creepy. I'm just not into that. I never was into sci-fi and otherworldly things. Well, otherworldly things are interesting to me, but I just don't buy the 3-headed, 6-legged, ugly-looking. That's what turns me off about Hollywood sci-fi. No. My feeling has always been that there are other worlds out there somewhere, and that they're mimicking our own. There's just other people on other planets, and for all we know, there could be a mirror planet. And my perfect me, who's wealthy and popular and outgoing, she's living her life over there, and I'm stuck here, and then maybe after death we switch places. I'm not saying there wouldn't be weird critters around. That's a possibility. But I find it incredibly hard to believe that there are these oddball-looking, gross, lizard-like things that speak human language. It makes no sense to me, so I can't process it in my head, and I don't want to. But I'm just saying, that's the only thing that turns me off about sci-fi. So that was dumb. Okay, I think I have covered everything. No, I'm going to leave a link. Oh no, I might not be able to. Might be able to do it next time. If I don't have the link, I was going to leave a link below. I tried to look up how to put produce in the refrigerator, and I ended up on one of those Sims forum, and I started scrolling down because the guy had answered his own question. He came back and he's like, edit, I figured it out. I had to get rid of my old refrigerator. But anyway, I was scrolling down, and the most hilarious pictures are on that forum. Most of them are from people who took screenshots of their own Sim playthrough. And the Sims are doing really wacky things. It was really funny. I hope I still have that capture. Yes, I do. I saved it. So it's below my description. You're welcome to visit that site. It was funny. All you gotta do is scroll down and read replies, which obviously have nothing to do with his question about why he couldn't put produce in his fridge. But I guess it's because he answered his own question, and then everybody who replied just plunked down a picture of their Sim doing something weird and made a comment about it, and it was funny. So I think you would enjoy that. All right, it looks like we're coming up on the end here. I hope you enjoyed this, because I sure did. These guys were fun to play. Everything went well. I'm not unhappy with this build. It's a narrow lot. It's one of them 20 by 40s, and the wide is 20 and the 40 is long. But I've worked on this lot so many times that I'm kind of used to it. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.